Today you find me in Keswick, right in the heart of the Lake District. We're on our autumn break, and for once it isn't raining, the weather's great if you're Scottish. So I thought I'd do something a bit different today. Let's talk about the 3 watches that I've decided to bring on this autumn break to the Lake District here in the UK. Welcome to Horological. So first of all, I'll do a wrist check what I'm wearing. One of the watches that I've brung, it's my Omega Seamaster 300M Professional, and I bought that Bulova Marine Star Precisionist quite recently, and I've done a video about it. That video's been doing quite well on the channel, and I thought I've actually put my Omega on the same strap. The lug width's different, it's 20mm in the Omega, it's 22 in the Bulova, but I've put the same silicone strap on because I just enjoyed it so much in that Bulova. I was swivering whether to bring the Bulova with me in this trip, but the Omega won out. It needs some wrist time, and I've been wearing the Marine Star Precisionist quite a lot recently, so this is a bit of time to get reacquainted with the Omega. I brought with me my 42mm Augsburg from Laco. Fantastic watch, it just says autumn to me for some reason. And I brought my Seiko Speedtimer in the Pogue colourway, a storied chronograph, fantastic watch as well. So hopefully I've got all bases covered with what I've brought, and let me just talk you through my rationale. So first of all, let's talk about the Omega Seamaster. And it's a watch, I've had this for a while now, and I like this watch. It wears fantastic. The only fault for me with this watch is that AR coating on the outside of the glass, and I'll continue to go on about that. And that's something that Bulova got right with theirs. The AR coating's only on the inside of the crystal, but I thought I would come and get reacquainted with this watch on this silicone strap, which I'll start including affiliate links to the things that I'm using with my watches in all my videos. Some people have private messaged and asked, you know, where did you get that? How actually is it? So I'll try and be a little bit more descriptive of what I'm actually using, and it's not always about spending lots and lots of money. I do go to the Omega boutique now and again and do buy some hardware, but it's very expensive, and my advice is if you buy a watch, like I did with my Omega, it came on the original 9 link tank track bracelet, the Pierce Brosnan era kind of classic bracelet. That's what it came on, and I found it very, very heavy. So I've went through quite a succession of trying straps. I've got a mesh for it, I've got a few silicone straps now, I've got the orange one that I done a short on a few days ago. You can check that out, see how that looks. And none of these straps are very expensive. Now I can see myself in a position where I possibly go to Omega once I've figured out exactly what I like on the watch, and then order one of the expensive straps from them. But for now I'm happy to play about with aftermarket NATOs, silicones, and that mesh that I've got. The mesh I've got is very similar to the Omega one, and in some ways I've tried it on in the boutique, the actual official Omega one, and in some ways the one I've got articulates slightly better, and to me it feels a little bit more comfortable. And now let's talk about the Seiko Speedtimer in the Pogue colourway. You know, I know it's not a Pogue, it's not a mechanical watch, it's a solar caliber by Seiko, but it's a fantastic watch, and this watch came out here in the UK in August 2024, and it took me till kind of the end of November to source one of these watches, because I was just finding a few of them that I'd looked at in person had some alignment issues. So again, it's another Seiko to my collection, but I've had to curate this one, and I just like the splash of colour. For the price of this watch, the quality of the dial is absolutely amazing, and when the sun hits that dial just the right way, it absolutely lights up. And there's a lot of debate online about whether this dial is yellow, gold, orange. I don't know myself. Let's just call it Pogue. Let's name a new colour Pogue in honour of this Seiko dial. It's absolutely fantastic, and I'll wear this a couple of days on my holiday. Maybe if the weather turns really bad, this'll brighten up a day for me. And then this is my third watch I've brought. I've brought my Laco Augsburg 42mm on the riveted leather strap. An absolute classic Type A Flieger, highly legible. And it's funny because I don't very often get compliments on my watches unless I'm wearing a Rolex or something really recognisable. But I was over at Orton Grange the other day. It's a place just up the road. It's an agri-tourism farm, cafe, shop. Some fantastic products. If you're in the Lake District, set the sat nav for Orton Grange and give it a try. But there was an older gentleman in the car park that actually complimented me on this, and he said, "Nice Flieger." He knew exactly what this was, and I find that unusual. To get a compliment on a mechanical watch these days is quite a rare thing. Everybody wears smartwatches, Apple watches, and for someone to actually know what this was, absolutely fantastic. So it struck up a little 5-minute conversation with him about watches, and it turns out he was wearing a nice Patek, so the guy was in the watch collection family. So absolutely fantastic little encounter, and brought about by a basic Laco Flieger. So fantastic watch. I'll include an affiliate link for this watch in the description of this video with a few other hardware bits and bobs. But there's a fantastic deal going in these watches just now if you're in the UK and Amazon. And basically what it is, before Laco updated this watch with hacking seconds, there's a load of old new stock. So if not having hacking seconds doesn't bother you, if you're okay with that, I would suggest get yourself one of these in your collection, because it's an unbeatable price, and I can honestly say that the wearing experience of this, it wears like a Flieger 4 or 5 times the value. And the other thing is, I looked on the Laco website, and just the price of one of these Laco straps alone is £30, €40. So the fact that you're getting this watch for the price in that link that I'll put below with that strap is absolutely phenomenal. Don't miss out, because I'm sure these will go pretty quickly. I'm sure they'll go fast. They're very, very reasonably priced. So that is my 3 watch collection for this holiday, and I've put them in the right way this time as well. They're both the same way, OCD and all that. So let's talk about another bit of news for the channel. I launched the channel just under 2 weeks ago, and I've had almost 10,000 views already, so I must thank everybody for the views. I could be doing a few more subscribers, but I'm sure that will come in time. We're going to continue making good, honest, from the heart, horology related content. So I've got a few interesting things coming up as well. I got behind the scenes access down at the New Balance factory just yesterday, and I've done some filming there in their heritage room, and it's quite a poignant time because they've just launched a watch in collaboration with Tag Heuer, and I don't want to spoil too much about that, but we'll speak about that in a dedicated video dedicated to the synergy of sneakers, trainers and watches. And I'd been working on this video script for a while, and then this launch with Tag Heuer and New Balance together, it literally just happened as I was just packing to come in this trip. So a bit of a convergence again. On Horological, we do like an odd convergence now and again. SKX, if you know, you know. Anyway, one other thing's kind of happened of note. I was trying to purchase a Panerai. I sold my old Panerai 132. Well, it was a 132 case with a 2017 service dial, a replacement crystal that didn't have the Cyclops. It was a bit of a Franken watch, and I bought that watch with full disclosure, and I've sold it on with full disclosure, so no foul, no wrong play going on there. But I liquidated the value in that watch, and I liquidated the value in the Panerai for a reason. I'm on the hunt. I've been in the hunt for a new Panerai, and I've got some criteria that I want to stick to for this purchase. I want to go Carbotech. When wearing my 132 all day, I was suffering from a bit of wrist fatigue. It's a heavy watch, and that's one of the reasons I actually took the strap that my Omega Seamaster came on off, and I've replaced it with kind of different, that I'm trying out different things. The system's just a bit heavy. My Rolex sub comes in at 153 grams, and the weight's well balanced around that whole system. It feels great. But with the Panerai, the weight all sat in the top, and it was a little bit heavier than the Rolex as well. And just over time, the weight of that Panerai 132, it wore me down. So I'm going for a Carbotech one. It must be a Luminor, it must have a sandwich dial. I like the running seconds, and I like the date position of the 132, so I'm going to try and keep all that the same. So where's this leading? Well, I'd made a bid to get a Panerai 1529, the Lunar Rossa limited edition, limited to 37 pieces, sold online only during a 24-hour window, and I ran into some problems buying that watch. There seems to be a lot of them listed online for sale at the moment, and for a watch that only had a run of 37, and yet there's a lot for sale on various websites. And I do understand that people will list their watches for sale on various different sites to try and maximise the opportunity for a sale. But the more I looked into this watch, the more I felt a little bit uneasy about paying a premium for something that I couldn't guarantee that was the actual production run. You know, I'm not saying anything nefarious about Panerai here. There is a bit of a history, and I love the brand and I know it quite well, but I just don't know it Paneriste well to know exactly what's been on here. So I did make a bid for that watch. I went under because I'm not willing to pay that massive premium for exclusivity when I can't guarantee that the exclusivity actually exists, and it get knocked back. So the sale fell through. That's absolutely fine. So I went back to the drawing board and I thought, what is it I'm actually wanting? And that's how I come up with my kind of short list of specs for what I want in a Panerai. 44mm Luminor. I want Carbotech this time, running settings and date in that position. And if it comes with a nice strap, that's a bonus as well. I've still got some Panerai rubber straps in the collection. I get rid of the 132 with the alligator strap that it originally came with. So I've got a couple of the different coloured, I've got an olive actually, and a teal blue diving rubber strap from Panerai. So I'll be good for a few strap changes with that watch. But basically what I've decided on is I'm going to go for a Palm 1661. It's the kind of more consumer version of the absolute ultra grail Lab ID watch that Panerai came out with a few years ago. I don't want to talk any more about that in this video, but because it's something that I'm going to pad out into a full video, maybe even a couple of videos explaining the process I went through, the kind of decision-making process and how I've ended up. And it's important to say I haven't got the 1661 landed yet. I'm in the final stages of it. So fingers crossed that in the next couple of weeks I've got that watch. It's been to be authenticated, it's come back to me. You know, the money's getting into escrow. Once it's authenticated, I'll release that money, and happy days. I'll hopefully have a brand new, to me, Panerai 1661 Carbotech to show on the channel. So that was my lineup of watches for this trip. You know, we've got a classic Flieger, a colourful storied chronograph, and the old faithful Omega Seamaster that I really need to get reacquainted with, which is fine, and it is wearing great on this silicon. I must just add that. After experiencing the 22mm version of this strap on the Marine Star, having it on this, it's a really good fit. I might go to Omega sometime later on this year and pick up the official Omega rubber strap if this is still going well. So we'll give this a couple of months and we'll see how it goes. So how do you think my watch selection went for this trip? Did I get all the bases covered? Is there something that I've completely missed? Maybe I should have sneaked a G-Shock in the hand luggage. Questions for a watch collector, eh? So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've noticed there's a lot of you watching that aren't subscribing. If you could please subscribe, it'll help me grow as a channel, and it'll help me bring better content to you as fellow watch enthusiasts and collectors. And remember, collecting watches isn't logical, but it is horological.